Greetings, Frederick Riddle here with another Christian News and Views. This is episode 2652, and this is Monday. I've entitled this as Schumer's Shutdown is Back, which kind of tells you what it's going to be about. Here's the article, and then I'll comment. President Donald Trump on Saturday threatened to deploy immigration and customs enforcement agents to U.S. airports unless a partial government shutdown ends, while billionaire Elon Musk offered to pay salaries of TSA workers as more staffers go without pay. Here's some key facts. Trump, in a Truth Social post, said he would send ICE agents to airports unless congressional Democrats agreed to fund the Department of Homeland Security, ending a partial government shutdown. Trump said he plans to send ICE agents as soon as Monday, additionally claiming the agents handling airport security would arrest immigrants who are in the U.S. illegally. Musk, in a post on X, offered to pay the salaries of TSA personnel during the funding impasse that is negatively affecting the lives of so many Americans at airports throughout the country. The average annual salary for a TSA officer is about $51,000, starting at $40,270, while the average salary for a transportation security screener is just over $61,000, according to Bureau of Labor Statistics. Staffing shortages have resulted in longer lines at U.S. airports. Houston George Bush International Airport reported wait times of up to 2 hours on Saturday morning, while Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport's main security checkpoint and North checkpoint had wait times over 1 hour. Forbes valuation. Tesla CEO Musk is the richest person in the world, with a net worth estimated at $814.2 billion. He's on track to become the first person to be worth $1 trillion after Tesla shareholders approved a compensation package in November that could be worth close to that mark, should Tesla achieve several goals over the next 10 years. Last year, Musk became the first person to have a net worth of 400 billion, 500 billion, 600 billion, 700 billion, and 800 billion dollars. What to watch for? Whether more TSA staffers call out this weekend. One TSA worker told Forbes earlier this week the weekend would be a perfect storm as Americans travel for spring break and as TSA officers are running out of money, with call-outs expected from officers who are at their breaking point after missing a full paycheck last weekend. About 40% of staff called out at Atlanta's Hartsfield Jackson International Airport and Houston's George Bush International on Wednesday, according to TSA data. More key background here. Lawmakers failed to meet a February deadline to fund the Department of Homeland Security, disrupting payment for U.S. airport workers for weeks during a 43-day full government shutdown last year. TSA reported about 1,110 officers left the agency over uncertainty, stress, missed paychecks, and financial hardships. And last week, DHS reported about 300 TSA officers had already quit. DHS has blamed Senate Democrats for massive wait times and for TSA officers not receiving pay, saying many cannot pay their rent, buy food, or afford to put gas in their cars. Democrats argue they have offered to fund individual agencies within the agency, but refuse to fund ICE without reforming its policies and oversights. Before I get into my official opinion, I just want to say how cruel these Senator Schumer and his comrades, for lack of another word, are. They are using people like you and me. They are attacking Americans, no matter what party they have belong to. He's taking food away from children. He's taking food and clothing from adults. He's taking their rent, maybe causing them to lose their homes. All of this comes down on Schumer, not on anybody else. Schumer and the Democratic senators. They hold the key to this, not anybody else. They are the ones who are using this as a political thing just to get make a political point to achieve a political gain. They are not doing it for Americans. They are not doing it to help us. You don't help people by hurting them first. Sometimes you, like when you're telling the gospel or something, you got to get somebody to recognize they are lost and in need of Savior. That's not what he's doing. He's not hurting. He's not shutting this down to show people. He's using people to shut down the government. He's using people to gain a political achievement, if you will. He wants to get back to the way the Democrats had it before, and he does not. He's not interested in doing it in a responsible way. He is just simply doing it because that's what he and the Democrats want to do. They hate Trump so much. And so I'm getting into my actual opinion here, but the cruelty is what I'm thinking. How cold and how cruel they can be just to get their way. So here's my opinion. I am not surprised that Schumer is holding Americans hostage to get his way. That's the Schumer way. But I am also not surprised that Trump has a few surprises as well. I would not have anticipated him sending the ICE agents in to take over for the TSA. And I don't know of any reason why he can't do it. I've heard that, well, they're not trained for it. Well, they can be trained. You can be trained on the job. And there are some jobs they can do now and be trained for the other jobs as time goes by. That's a temporary solution, but it is a solution. Here's another one. Nor am I surprised that Musk is, I call him Citizen Musk, is willing to step in and pay wages. Here, the richest man in the world is willing to take some of his riches and use it so that people can have a home to sleep in, to have a sit down at a table to eat, to be able to care for their children. In some cases, they may be paying for the education of their children. And so this is really a patriotic, if you want to. This is something that I have heard over time, different things that have indicated that this is the kind of guy Musk is. Some people will just deride it and say, "Oh no, he's just doing it for the um, photo. What do they call it? He wants to have his time in the sun, so to speak." Well, he don't need it. He's the richest man in the world. And just every time he opens his mouth, I'm sure he gets some attention. Meanwhile, I refuse to believe that Americans, such as you and me, will forget what the Democrats are doing come midterms. Nor will they forget that President Trump and Citizen Musk are standing up for the American people. It's clear. It's the Democratic senators are trying to muddy the waters. They say, "Oh, we have offered to do this. All they got to do is let us have our way." That's not exact words, but that's what they're saying. No, that's not the way government works, folks. They're supposed to be able to sit down as adults and talk things over and come to a vote, and whoever wins, wins. That is the way the government was established. That is the way it's progressed over the centuries, actually, and decades, and now years. But the Democrats don't like it that way. Unless if they're not in power, then they want to force Republicans to give in, and they've been able to do that successfully in the past. But they have a new president in here, a president who knows what he wants, what America needs, and he's not going to let these. I don't know a good word to say that's it gets across the point, and at the same time, it's not rude and crude. But these are not representing their constituencies. Their constituency may be Democrat, obviously is. But when they get elected, they're supposed to represent both the Democrats and Republicans and independents. They're supposed to represent all the people that they are responsible for. They're not doing that. So I think that with particularly both Trump and Citizen Musk do what they're talking about, I think America wins in the end. The only reason Senator Schumer is his doing this is his dislike of Trump and is still smarting from the election of Trump. It has been suggested in the past that Schumer is afraid of AOC, who is in the House of Representatives, not the Senate. Now, what I have heard is she is considering running for the Senate. Now, it's considering. I haven't heard a declaration yet. And he might be looking over his shoulder in fear of her taking his job. Don't know if that's true or not. Don't know how much merit there is to it. But one thing is certain, Senator Schumer is currently leading his party to a defeat. The American people are not stupid. The American people can read as well as write. They can discern, for the most part, they can get through the mud. And I believe that the American people will do the right thing come the midterm elections. They may not like Trump either. When I say either, I'm going to say comparing to Schumer and so forth. But while they may not like him, at the same time, they recognize that he loves America and is trying to get America away from that sort of pry him away, I guess you might say, away from the politics as usual, which generally has been leading the United States economy, its moral basis, everything in this country has been going downhill, and he's been trying to pull it up by the bootstraps, so to speak. Will he succeed? Well, part of that depends upon us. Do we support him or not? The Schumer shutdown hurts everyday citizens of both parties. It also creates an opportunity for domestic terrorists to slip into the country or already in the country to board a plane to commit an act of terror. If that happens, I don't know about anybody else, but I will be pointing a finger at the Democrats. They are making it possible. They won't accept that. They allowed millions of people to come into the United States over the borders, and it's obvious. There were a lot of good people came in, but a lot of bad people came in. Bad people who hate our government and want to do bad things in this country. As long as the Democrats have large enough votes to block, delay, impede, or even pause government operations, we will see more of Schumer's political disruptions. In conclusion, I believe the Republicans need to pick up at least 7 seats. They're at 73 right now, and no, 53 right now. They need 60. I would like to see them more better than that. So I'm saying they should set their sights on 10 seats come the midterms and try to pick up an additional 10 seats. If they haven't targeted them yet, they should. Because I believe the Democrats are very, very vulnerable. Their own people who have maybe been Democrats their entire lives are kind of fed up with what they're seeing. They're not serving their own party. Instead, they're selling out to a far less group that's really in the minority, but they have a loud voice. And the only way to shut that voice up is to push it away, ignore it, and do what's right. What's right would be for the Schumer and the Democrats to say, okay, we've had our moment. We're going to agree to this. And we'll meet you in the midterms. But I really don't think they're going to do that. I would pray that they do that. That would be the reasonable thing to do, the right thing to do. But they have shown that being reasonable and being correct, other than being politically correct, um, just isn't in their DNA. And we may be seeing the death throes of the Democratic Party, which is shocking. I never would have thought such when I was growing up. Well, you have a great day. Remember that I always try to do three things. I try to inform you, encourage you, and to inspire you. There's not much encouraging in this message today other than uh, President Trump and Citizen Musk. But there is one other thing. God is in control. The God who created this universe. He didn't turn his back on it. He's not there somewhere out fishing. He is actively involved. He knows everything that's going to happen. And in the end, his will be accomplished. That should be encouraging and inspiring. You have a great day. And remember this, T&R Independent Books sponsors this podcast. And it also provides to you, if you're a Christian and you want to be an author, a published author, we have services available to you, including basic authors training and ministry publishing. You have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode.